Parliament granted approval for the government's request to suspend the legislation, which was originally put in place to prevent the finance minister from excessive borrowing. From January to date, government has borrowed some 96.5 billion cedis through treasury bills, with an accumulated interest of 10.36 billion cedis. According to Director of Business Operations at Dalex Finance, Joe Jackson, this has wiped away some 30% gains made through the first domestic debt exchange program. Elon Musk has suggested that all users of X, formerly called Twitter, may have to pay for access to the platform. In a conversation with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the billionaire said a payment system was the only way to counter bots.
Well, thank you for staying with us. Let's bring you our top story. As economist Professor John Gachi says the current economic situation in Ghana has necessitated that government comes out with a more comprehensive policy to cater for the vulnerable in society. According to him, the situation is beyond the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty LEAP program. He spoke at the sidelines of the Q2 graphic business breakfast themed Thriving During Economic Turbulence.
The issue of taking care of the vulnerable in the society has become very important. If you read Article 36(1) of the Constitution, we are to manage the economy to bring about maximum happiness to people, especially paying attention to the vulnerable. LEAP does not answer the situation we are in now. We are told by the Statistical Service that 2/3 of the people of Ghana have not returned to pre-COVID income levels. Then we are also told by a Statistical Service that about 850 people have gone down below poverty line. How are we addressing those things?
Ghana's Tourism Authority is building the capacity and competency of its practitioners in the hospitality industry in basic French language. This, according to the authority, is one of the building blocks towards the country's target of achieving 2 million international arrivals by 2025.
The targeted 2 million international arrivals is expected to rake in some $4 billion by 2025. As part of measures to make tourism play its leading role in the economic progress of the country, Ghana Tourism Authority is taking some practitioners in the services sector through basic French language. This is very important as Ghana is bordered by French-speaking countries and a large number of European arrivals are also French.
The Ghana Tourism Authority, through the compact of the tourism sector, is to train or to build the capacity of the practitioners in the tourism sector so that they can face the challenges after the COVID-19.
It is basically about French for hospitality. Okay, how to welcome people, like bookings, what do you need, single room, double room, do you accept animals and all that. So that's what we'll be learning, so that when Francophones come to them, they'll be able to interact with them fluently in the French language.
Globally, it is estimated that by 2033, every 10 jobs will be created by the tourism sector. Ghana is rethinking tourism for economic growth and job creation.
People working day in and day out. And there's the need for them to also understand French, to be able to communicate effectively. So some of our staff are here.
So also I will encourage them that we have to, make some of the signages in French as well, so that to help them for the easy accessibility in the hotel.
I'm hoping by the end of this training, my fluency in French would increase, and then I'll be able to communicate with my Francophone customers easier.
International arrivals saw 81% growth in 2022. Domestic tourism also grew from 600,000 in 2021 to almost 1 million in 2022. Hospitality industry provides employment through its value chain for farmers, caterers, chefs, tour operators, drivers, and aircraft producers, musicians, artists, among others.
Now, Ghana's debt to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has surged by 35.3% in the second quarter of 2023. The country is Africa's most indebted country to the IMF, according to the fund's quarterly finances report for July 2023.
As of July 31, 2023, Ghana's outstanding loans to the IMF reached a substantial special drawing rights equivalent to $2.227 billion. This is $451 million increase from the $1.246 billion recorded just 3 months earlier on April 30, 2023. The increase in debt can be attributed to a $600 million bailout package that Ghana secured from the IMF in June 2023. The IMF bailout is aimed at revitalizing the economy and mitigating financial challenges. Ghana's loans from the Bretton Woods institution are categorized as concessional lending with favorable terms, including low-interest financing, which is critical for the country's economic recovery efforts. Democratic Republic of Congo is the second debtor to IMF with $1.142 billion. Kenya maintains its position as the third most indebted African nations to the IMF as of July 31, 2023, with SDR $1.008 billion. Both countries received bailout disbursements to bolster their balance of payments.
Now, players within the mining sector are calling for concerted effort to end the use of mercury by artisanal small-scale miners in the country. Civil society organization Fund for Peace believes there are more environmentally friendly options worth exploring to protect the country's ecology and miners in general.
Mercury doesn't only impact those who directly handle it, it also impacts the community as a whole. We know that mercury can contaminate water bodies. It can also contaminate food produce as well. And what happens in terms of long-term impacts, it could lead to kidney malfunction, reproductive challenges, birth defects, gum inflammation, and a slew of other impacts. So the main point here to recognize is, although the miners might be exposed to mercury, they're not the only individuals being impacted by it. If you live within a mining community, but you are not directly an ASGM practitioner, there are still chances of you being exposed to mercury through contaminated food products or contaminated river bodies.
Let's now turn our attention to the currency market and bring you updates for today. Let's now turn our attention to the commodities market and bring you updates there as the price of cocoa has moved up by $19. It's trading at $3,640 per ton. Gold, however, has dropped slightly by 0.94%. It's trading at about $1,932 per ounce. Crude oil is up marginally by $1. It's trading at $95.43. And that'll be all for Business Brief here on TV3. For more business stories, our website 3 News is there for you. My name is Michael Obudu. As always, stay safe. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.